Let me welcome you to this lecture. We will now discuss the chemistry of organocopper compounds. These organocopper compounds are of a lot of importance in organic synthesis, and many of these organocopper compounds have been used for preparation of different organic compounds, and we will mainly focus our interest in their application in organic synthesis. Although the organocopper compounds have been used or have been prepared in situ for application in organic synthesis quite some time ago in the 1950s itself, but the actual preparation or isolation of organocopper compounds have happened only very recently. The reason is these organocopper compounds are usually highly sensitive to oxygen or moisture. The second important point about these organocopper compounds, which did not allow isolation of organocopper compounds earlier, is because these compounds are usually not soluble in inert solvents like hydrocarbon. So this makes preparation of their or the isolation of these compounds difficult in these non-polar solvents. They usually tend to absorb oxygen or moisture, and which essentially destroy these compounds when in solution. The third point or third barrier which did not allow isolation of organocopper compounds is that these compounds usually tend to form non-stoichiometric species when in solution, and that usually deters or prevent their isolation or isolation of molecular species. So because of all these reasons, the organocopper compounds could not be isolated earlier, and only very recently such organocopper species, molecular species have been isolated and characterized. Now we will, as we have said, that we will mainly discuss the reactivity or the application of these organocopper compounds in organic chemistry. So let us look at the reactivity of these organocopper compounds to start with. So the first reaction or the first important reaction of these organocopper compounds that is important from organic synthesis point of view is the nucleophilic addition to organic halides. So one can start prepare organocopper compounds, or a very important organocopper compound can be prepared by starting from organolithium reagent and then doing reaction with copper halide. This will essentially give us a lithium organocuprate, and this particular species is known as Gilman's reagent, and as Gilman was the one who did this reaction to to obtain such organocuprate lithium organocuprate or Gilman's reagent it is called. Now, this particular species, the R groups here in these organic substituents of these organocuprate species, they are nucleophilic in nature, but their nucleophilicity is much less as compared to the nucleophilic character of organic species in say organ or organolithium or Grignard's reagent, and that is why they undergo reaction in a more selective way with organic functional groups, and as compared to what you will see in case of say organolithium or Grignard's reagent, because these are highly nucleophilic source of organic say alkyl or aryl groups, and that is why they attack all the functional groups. It's unlike these organocuprate or Gilman's reagent, which shows selectivity in attacking different organic functional groups. So now you can do reaction with an organic halide, and now nucleophilic substitution reaction on this organic halide can be carried out, and this will essentially give us a product or a cross coupling product is usually is or a cross coupling reaction takes place in this way, and that is one of the reason, or because one can prepare such cross coupling products by going via this organocuprate species, and this reaction essentially formation of a carbon-carbon bond and uh, is very interesting and important from organic synthesis point of view, and that is why this reaction assumed a lot of importance when it was discovered by Gilman. Now, as we have said that these organocuprates are less nucleophilic as compared to organolithium or uh, Grignard's reagent, and they can attack on different organic functional groups more selectively as compared to these organolithium or Grignard's reagent. So the order of reactivity of these organocuprates with different organic functional groups is available. So the acyl halides react are the most reactive functional group against organocuprates. Then we have aldehyde, and after that we have that is epoxide, then organic halides, first iodide, then bromides, and then organochlorides. After that this ketone, and then we have ester and nitriles, and finally alkenes. So this is the order of reactivity of different organic functional groups towards organocuprate reagents. So we see that different we can there is a selectivity of these organocuprate species in attacking different organic functional groups. So if we have depending upon which functional groups we have, we know which one is going to react more preferentially to the organocuprate species now. And such an order of reactivity is not available for organolithium or organomagnesium reagents. So the second reaction, which is of importance, or second reaction involving organocopper species, which is of importance in organic synthesis, is oxidative coupling via copper organelles. So one can do oxidative coupling as well by using these copper organelles as intermediates. So you see one example. So one starts with, say, Grignard's reagent here. And preparation, first one can prepare an copper organelle starting from this Grignard's reagent, and subsequent oxidation of the copper organelle so by using dioxygen in this case will lead to oxidative coupling of this organic group over here, and since this is a bis Grignard's reagent we start with, so that is why we will end up with a bis copper organelle here, and the coupling, oxidative coupling of this copper organelle will essentially lead to formation of a cyclic compound here, which is cyclopentane in this case. So that is how one can do oxidative coupling reaction via copper organelles, and these reactions have a lot of importance in organic chemistry. We'll see how some application of this reaction, that is oxidative coupling via copper organelle. So one can do reaction to make bisaryl compounds. So one can prepare this dilithium biphenyl species by starting from the biphenyl and doing reaction with organolithium reagent, and then after that treatment with say copper acetate here will give us a bisaryl species which is formed via oxidative coupling of the copper organelle that is going to be formed after reaction of this organolithium species with copper chloride here. And in this case, no oxidating agent is required, as the copper 2 salt that is used as the precursor here itself acts as the oxidizing agent here. So this is how bisaryls can be prepared, we see. Then what we see is that one can also use these oxidative coupling reaction via copper organelle to prepare conjugated dienes. So for example, and so we'll see one example. So one starts with this bis-acetylene here, and reaction with again copper acetate in presence of pyridine at 55 degrees Celsius here lead to oxidative coupling reaction that will essentially give us a conjugated diene product. So this sort of after oxidative coupling, we will obtain this sort of cyclic product. This compound can now be first. One can abstract the protons over here by using a strong base, potassium tertiary oxide in tertibutanol, and then in the second step, if one does reduction of this by using dihydrogen in presence of beryllium, what one gets is a this sort of species. This is nothing but 18 aniline, and this is how one can prepare this 18 aniline by doing oxidative coupling reaction, starting from an acetylene, which will give essentially copper acetylene species over here, and that will undergo oxidative coupling reaction, and copper 2 plus again will act as the oxidant in this case, and that essentially gives us a conjugated diene product over here, and that from this we can obtain 18 aniline by subsequent reaction in this way. So we see that this reaction, oxidative coupling via copper organelle, is of a lot of synthetic interest. So the third reaction that is of importance or of synthetic interest involving this copper organyl is addition to unsaturated carbonyl compounds. Sorry. That is nothing but the Michael addition reaction. So we know that if we take an unsaturated carbonyl compound, now if we use organolithium or organomagnesium reagent, the nucleophile from this organolithium or this Grignard's reagent will essentially come and attack on the carbonyl carbon atom. But if we use now a copper organyl species here instead of organolithium or Grignard's reagent, 1,4 addition is going to take place, not 1,2 addition is going to take place. That is, if we use now say lithium copper, this Gilman's reagent over here, what we will end up with here is that so 1,4 with the methyl group will come and attack on this unsaturated carbon atom over here, not the carbonyl carbon atom, unlike in case of when we use organolithium or Grignard's reagent, and then what we will get is OLI. This is going to be formed, and then if we do hydrolysis now, we will obtain this alcohol after hydrolysis of this intermediate over here. So that is how the reaction of this organocopper or species or Gilman's reagent with unsaturated carbonyl compound is different from what we see in case of the reaction with organolithium or Grignard's reagent. As in this case, we see 1,4 addition take place, unlike 1,2 addition that is observed in case of organolithium or Grignard's reagent. And we'll see one example of this reaction again. So if we start with this unsaturated carbonyl compound here and then do reaction, and subsequent reaction with this Gilman's reagent here, and then subsequent hydrolysis, what we will end up with here is so what we see here is that this product is formed in 98% yield, while this is formed in 2% yield. And what it tells us that this reaction is stereoselective in nature, as we obtained one of these stereoisomer in 98% yield, while the other stereoisomer is formed only in 2% yield over here. So what we see, apart from being stereoselective, this reaction or regioselective, this reaction is also stereoselective in nature, unlike what we see in case of organolithium or Grignard's reagent. So that is why this reaction of cuprate species with unsaturated carbonyl compounds is interesting as we obtain both radioselectivity as well as stereoselectivity. The last reaction involving uh, organocopper species is the reaction with where the organocopper species undergo addition to alkynes, and this reaction is also stereospecific. We'll see. So we'll see one example here. So in the first step, Grignard's reagent is prepared in dilute ether, and in the second step, the Grignard's reagent that is going to be formed starting from this bromo compound will be treated with copper bromide to essentially get copper organyl species here. So this sort of copper organyl species is going to be formed once we do these reactions. Then this copper organyl is treated with an alkyne or terminal alkyne here, and now the copper will of course react with this terminal alkyne carbon atom over here to form a another species over here that will undergo oxidative coupling reaction and give us this sort of a product here. And now if we do reaction with methyl iodide here, this will undergo methylation reaction and this sort of species is going to be formed over here. So what we see here is that this addition of alkyne takes place in a fashion where a syn addition is take place essentially, or the syn isomer is formed, and that is why this addition reaction of organocopper species to terminal alkynes essentially proceeds via formation of the syn isomer only, and that is why the reaction is stereospecific in nature now. So this is another reaction, or this is the another reaction that is of importance in organic synthesis, because this reaction is again stereospecific in nature. So these are some of the reactions that we have learned about application of organocopper compounds in organic synthesis, and this essentially essentially brings us to the end of this lecture. What we have learned during this lecture is the reason why it is difficult to isolate organocopper species because of their reactivity towards dioxygen and water, and also because these compounds are insoluble in inert solvents, and that also makes it difficult to isolate them in pure form, and instead one prefers to make these compounds in situ during the reaction, and then that will essentially lead to allow us to use these organocopper species in organic synthesis. And we have looked at different reactions where organocopper species are involved in organic synthesis. And the first reaction that we saw is a cross-coupling reaction where nucleophilic addition reaction takes place on an organic halide, and we have seen also that such nucleophilic addition reaction of organocuprate species is highly selective, as their reactivity towards different functional groups are different, and that allows us to selectively choose the substrates and then apply these things in organic synthesis or for preparation of different organic derivatives. Then we have seen another reaction where oxidative coupling of this organocopper species takes place, and this reaction is again of a lot of synthetic importance, and we have seen that we can prepare bis aryl compounds or 18 aniline by by formation of this copper organyl species, and then doing oxidative coupling reaction of these species. Then we also looked at the how organocopper species react with unsaturated carbonyl compounds, and we have seen that the 1,4 addition takes place in case of these conjugated enols, or in case of Michael addition reaction, unlike what we see in case of organolithium or with Grignard's reagent. 1,2 addition takes place, and this nucleophile goes and attacks the carbonyl carbonatum in case of this organolithium or Grignard's reagent, while in case of when we use organocopper species, the nucleophile goes and attack one of the unsaturated carbon atoms. So then we also looked at how one can use this or how this this reaction of or addition of organocopper species with terminal alkynes takes place, and we have seen that this reaction is stereospecific in nature as we obtain syn isomer during this addition of organocopper species to terminal alkynes. So this essentially brings us to the end of this lecture. Let me conclude this lecture, and I thank you very much for being with me